the brace off it, and it's the safety detent, and that thing went flying. I was like, God damn it! And I found it, and somehow the damn thing had gotten bent. The brace off it.
And we are live, guys. Welcome to Caliber Corner, episode number 96. Just wanted to enjoy a little bit of that pre-chat. We've been talking Transformers and AR-15 parts. Yes, let's just get it out right now. I am cleanly shaven. I'm very cool and comfortable right now. People say that Calaveras Special looks like one of my nephews. It's a possibility. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get going. So let's just see who's joining us over on the YouTube side real quick. I see a little Travis T going on. Derek Rivers 24 is over there. Keywords over there. Sam of Anarchy 92. Net Flutter, Cadillac Jack. Blue Steel 44, Snob's Wife. John Brown Productions. And Yoder Texas is out there too. Tardot's with us. What's going on, Tardot? So I do want to apologize. I did have some vehicle issues. I had some battery woes going on earlier, but we got that resolved. Got all taken care of. The Jeep's up and running again. And we are ready to rock. Sandhill Shooters in the house. What's up? Gung Ho 1345. Yo, Joe. G.I. Joe, man. All right. And let's see. Over on the Gun Channel side. What's that?
Knowing is half the battle.
Exactly. Now you know, and knowing is half the battle. We've got a little Dead Horse going on over there, and Gung Ho 1345 on the Gun Channel side. Dead Horse, I think we need to send you an invite, buddy. I think we'll make that happen. So, man, all right. Well, we've got a panel joining us. I appreciate the panel showing up on such little notice because we were going to start at 6 o'clock and just go for an hour, but we are going to go for 2 hours unless we just run out of stuff to chat about. But let's go and start it up here. Starting on my left, we've got the original Kingpin, David Bowling, in the house. David, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I couldn't get the Hangout screen to come back up.
It's all good, man. Don't worry about it. How's it going, dude?
Not too shabby. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
Mm-hmm. All right, always got to bug you. What's coming up on the channel, man? What's next in the pipe? What do you got?
I don't even know. I did the Maxim video for the Firearms Inventors deck, and then just before the show started, I deleted it. So I'm going to do another one.
Oh,
and that should be out in a couple days, and then not really too sure what else. I'm thinking about doing another live show in a week or so, but I'm not really sure.
All right, man. All right. Real quick, Patrick Pew Pew, we'll get to your question here in just a little bit once we let the panel introduce themselves. And Sandhills, I included you in the link. Let me go ahead and send that back out to you, buddy. And I'll go ahead and get who else are we going to invite real quick? Who did I say was out there I need to get? We got John Brown Productions. We need to get you in here too.
Dead Horse.
And Dead Horse. Okay, so I'll do that. And okay, well, David, man, appreciate you being here, buddy. And Nice Strike, what's going on, man? How's it going?
I lost a detent for an AR-15. I am sad because now I have to order more.
Can't you just go run up? Can't you just walk over to PSA? Isn't it just like right across the street from you?
It's like 45 miles away. I'm not driving. I'm just going to buy it online and have it shipped.
All right, man.
It's cheaper that way.
Man, I could probably send you one faster.
I'll just get it off eBay.
I got you. All right. So what else is new, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I got a mail call video. I gotta get off my ass and edit and release so that people can see that because apparently you sent me a package.
Yes. I had a package for you. Yes.
Yeah. So
all right, man.
There's a video coming up.
Have you opened the package?
Oh yeah, I've already opened the package. It's already empty. The parts are on parts are on the receivers.
All right, man.
All of them.
So let's see here. Talking about you and Roll Call got a little show that you guys do too?
Yeah, we do rants and raves every Wednesday night whenever the hell Roll Call gets home from work.
Dude, I had a good time listening to it. I was listening to it this morning when I was working on stuff for school. So yeah.
Though I will say it is not safe for work because we get pretty heated. It's like hit or miss. Viewer discretion is advised and all that because we get heated sometimes and we go off on a tangent and there may or may not be a couple curses here and there, but you know that's because we're tired of getting pushed around as a normal civilian. We're tired of just the guys who are in Washington making all the decisions for us without listening to any of our input.
There's something that we try not to do in the world of education, and that's where you punish the whole class because of one bad apple, so to speak. And it seems like the government doesn't like to follow that, because when you do that, punish everybody because of one bad apple, it does not create for a fun climate. I can just say that right now.
Unfortunately, it seems, from my perspective, it seems like the government is trying to do the whole, if you punish everyone, everyone will be disciplined like the military. And unfortunately, that may work for like one unit in the military, but when it's like millions of civilians, that doesn't fly.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man. All right. And then what's the other show that you got? You got a little something going on Tuesday nights?
Yeah. You should know you're the co-host.
Hit or miss Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock Central Time, right?
Yeah. Only for you. Only for you.
All right, man. Appreciate that. All right. So moving on down the line, Honda, we'll come back to you in a second, buddy. Rich is with us. We got Rich White's with us. So Rich, what's going on, buddy? What's new in your world, man?
Not much, and I feel your pain there, Night Strike. I had to order the rear takedown pin V10 spring because mine went flying out of my AR-15, and when I found it, somehow it got bent, so I had to order a new one of those. I was able to I could still put it in. So I was able to, where it was bent, I could just clip off a couple of the pieces and it would still work, but I just wanted to order a new one anyway to replace it to be on the safe side.
Funny story. Guess which one I lost? That one. That's the one I lost.
You should always have spares of those sitting around. How could you?
I forgot to order spares.
The gun should just come with them, like in the handle. They should just tuck extras, or when you get when you get a pistol grip or something, you should just get them.
Right. That's what I've been saying the whole time. But apparently, no one wants to spend the extra 20 cents.
It's a shame. Or $100 for a bill kit, one of the two.
Yeah, I paid 75 cents for the spring itself, and then almost $4 for the shipping.
So Rich, tell us a little bit about your channel, man. What do you got coming up? What's in the pipe?
What do I got coming up? It's basically just the Sunday night show. We're there on Unloaded Media. This week, Unloaded. We do that every Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Well, we try to do it every Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. The past few weeks it's been hectic, but we did get it up. We did this week, so we had a good show.
Good. So. Right on, man. Cool. I appreciate you guys being here. And joining us also, Sandhills Shooter is in the house. Sandhills, what's new in your world, man? What's going on?
Hey, we are just getting ready to grill up some steaks here, some good old Nebraska beef.
Was this out in the backyard at your pop's place or what?
No, I'm home.
No. No, I mean where the beef came from?
This one didn't. This is just good old Nebraska beef from here in town.
You know it, man. You know it. All right. So tell us, man, what's coming up on the channel? What's new?
We've got some changes. In fact, there's going to be a video coming out here in the next couple days or a week, discussing those. But we did talk about them a couple weeks ago on 2A Tuesday. You can catch us every Tuesday night, 9 o'clock Central Time, for 2A Tuesday, where we talk about a wide variety of topics. Not always 2A related either. Could be about anything. So you just have to tune in and see what's going on.
It's like a box of chocolates, baby. You never know what you're going to get.
That's right.
Right on, man. All right. Squiblift. Squiblift is in the house. The artist formerly known as Squibload is now Squiblift. So Squiblift, what's going on, man? Oh. No audio, Squibby. No audio. All right, man. We will try to come back to you here in a second. So just hang tight, buddy. E Honda, you doing all right, man? You got some sound? Oh, Squib just dropped out. Honda, you with us, bud? There he is.
Sorry, my phone's being fucking wacky, man.
It's all right. It's that Colorado air, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm just on my way to work. I thought I'd hop in for a second and say hey to you guys and see what's going on in the chat, bro.
Man, we're talking used guns today, so I think that's always a fun topic, Man,
that's my favorite kind, man.
Right on. So
yeah, I just dropped a Donald Trump video today, and I'm doing the conspiracy chat every Sunday now, I believe, or at least for the foreseeable future. So check my channel out if you like conspiracies and guns and you want to talk about that stuff. We'll be on Sunday, 1 p.m. Colorado time, whatever time that is for you.
That would be 2 o'clock for us, Central Time. Oh yeah. Your channel, the name of the channel exactly, it's actually, I find it a little hard to find it because when you type in Honda, you get like 5,000 results, you know? So
yeah, I'm actually
capital
I think I'm gonna be changing the channel name slightly to like Honda 720 or something like that.
There you go. Honda 420.
No.
Little Colorado joke for you people. So, all right. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and put a link for your channel in the chat over there so people can check it out.
All right, brother. Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot much, man, for being here. I do appreciate it. All right. And let's see. We did have a question early on. Let's see. I know it's you, but man, what a difference. Travis P1 or Travis P11 LOL. Yeah, Rob D. After about a year, after about 9-10 months, I decided to go ahead and lose the beard for a little while. Discovered I got a double chin I didn't know that I had, but that's all right. We'll try to lose that this summer. So yeah, we do family portraits, and only request from the mom and grandma is that I've got a nice clean shaven face for the photos. So that's what we try to do. Question that we had. So Jumpy Killer says 10 millimeter is sweet. It sure is. I'm not going to argue with you there, Jumpy. Let's see. Where's it at? We had a question from Patrick Pew Pew. Is that right? Or yeah. Okay. So it says, I think I found a scope for my Mosin. Do you have any experience with Vortex Optics? I think I'm going to order a Vortex Crossfire 2 to 7x32 scout scope. Okay, well, yeah, you're going to want to go with that scout scope configuration, depending on how you're going to mount that scope on the Mosin. If you're going to do a rear iron sight mount, you're definitely going to have to go the scout scope route, unless you're going to get the receiver, tapped and drilled and get a Russian, like a Mosin scope mount put on it, or unless you've got a sniper model that already has it.
Be careful doing that yourself. I did it, mine slightly off canter, and I've since had to go back to aftermarket iron sights because I chopped it down and stuff.
Oh, okay. You mean like when you try to install it, you want to be careful because it is kind of tricky. It's actually kind of difficult to install that rear sight, in my opinion, because of the leaf spring that you use in it. So talking about Vortex Optics, we do have a resident Vortex expert, and that would be Sandhills Shooter. Sandhills, you want to share a little bit about your experience with Vortex?
It's really nice, and I love mine.
There you go. And I think you've got some of the binoculars. I got a chance to test those out. I think you're fine going with Vortex. You've got a lifetime warranty with them, which is really nice. Again, nothing against primary arms, but not every primary arm scope has a lifetime warranty. You got to keep that in mind. And then me, I've got a Vortex. I've got Strikefire 2 that's been fantastic. I put countless rounds through my AR with that.
You bought that Diamondback HP too, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I got the Diamondback HP. I think it's a 4-16 by 40 or something. I can never remember exactly what it is. I got to take it out this summer. It's mounted. I got decent rings for it and stuff. I got lower rings than what I had originally for it. So yeah, we're gonna take it out and get it sighted in.
Easter weekend, I took the Browning out, which is in 270 Winchester, and we got on the 200-yard range, and I have that zeroed at 100 yards, and it's got the bullet drop compensator marks on the reticle. I actually put the 200-yard mark right on the 200-yard target, and 2 shots were both within an inch of dead center.
So the question, okay, all right. So how does that go ahead?
I don't have the target, so I didn't actually measure the group, and it was only a 2-shot group, not a 3-shot group. But I mean, that thing's shooting MOA, and I'm not an MOA shooter, so the gun and the scope are way more accurate than the guy that was shooting it.
So on that, with that reticle that you're using, did you go in the ballistics calculator and punch in all the data that you had so it could tell you approximately what drop you're going to get at each MOA mark? Because they've got a specific calculator, I think, that you can use for that BDC reticle.
No.
No? Okay.
I sighted in at 100, and then I tested at 200, and it just makes me think that, all I got to hit is a pie plate.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, it's a deer rifle. I'm not worried about getting groups where the holes touch.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Rich, I see you. Did you change your hat there, Rich? Is that?
Yeah, I believe I did.
Do you have any experience with Vortex at all or not?
I think the hat speaks for itself.
There you go. So we're looking at do you have a Crossfire 2 or not?
I have 2 Vortex Red Dots, actually. Okay. I have a Spark 2, and then I have the Vortex Venom that I have on my Pepper 12.
Okay. And have you ever had any problems with those at all or not?
No.
No.
Well, when I first got my first Vortex 2, the off switch was broken. I sent it in to them. They sent me a new one, no questions asked.
Mm-hmm.
And haven't had an issue with the new one.
Yeah, they do a good job. I'm happy with what I've got right now, but I still need to get the gun sighted in. But what I've seen, the overall quality is really good. Really nice glass clarity and so on. So let's see here. So yeah, Patrick Pupin, to answer your question, I think that would be a solid setup to go with, just as long as you've got a mount for it. That's probably the most important thing. So let's see. Old rule of thumb from Calaveras says you never eat your own beef. Wink, wink. Let's see. You're not Travis without your beard. I know. Bring the beard back. I know. I knew it was going to be the big controversy of the evening. I mean, I've been trying to kind of like ease myself into the shaved face. So, but we'll get back there eventually. But
I thought it was on the wrong
not
track for a
everyone can
minute.
have a beard like this.
Look at that delicious root beer
Oh my
you got going
Jesus.
on there. That is freaking awesome, dude. Look at that. That is look at that's freaking awesome.
That's
You could cut half that off and that would replace what I lost. You realize that, right?
No.
You need to start getting some wax on that monster, just start doing some like Dr. Robotnik stuff with it, you know?
No.
Hey,
it's
Night
going-
Strike.
it's
Night
going
Strike.
off.
ZZ Top called. They want their beard back.
It's awesome, dude.
It's not that long yet. I wanted to get it that long, but unfortunately I have to shave it off this weekend. So
Oh man. Are you taking it all off?
I'm taking it all off.
Dude, you're gonna donate to Locks of Love or what? Is that what's going on?
No,
No? Okay.
I'm just going down to a goatee.
Ah, there you go. That's gonna be good. You should get people real long, like braided and stuff.
No, it's just got to be stubble.
Oh, okay.
You should leave the mustache. You should just leave the mustache and nothing else.
There you go.
No, my dad wears a mustache, and it's great for him, but I don't like just the mustache. I got to have something else. I got to have something on the chin.
Rob D has a question for you. He wants to know if you're standing in a bush. No, that's 100% just fantastic root beard is what I call it. It's got a root beard going on.
What Rob D meant to say is that he's jealous that he can't grow such a large beard.
Well, we're all jealous. None of us can grow a beard like that. I mean, you got some girth there, Night Strike. I mean, that thing is thick, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm trying to compete with this crazy Scotsman, but I don't know.
I'd say
He's
if
a
you get a
hard
run
man
for the
to
money,
compete
man.
with.
All right. Let's see here. So Patrick also says, thanks, guys. I got a solid mount for the rear sight. Now I'll be ordering my new scope. Gotcha. Yeah, I think you're going to be okay if you go with it. Patrick, do check around on prices, though, with Vortex scopes. They vary a lot. I got mine from Sportsman's Warehouse, and it was probably $75 below everybody else. And it wasn't a clearance price or anything. It was just the normal price that they were selling it for. So let's see. Clint Tara says you're going to be in the next Lord of the Rings movie.
They're not making another one.
All right. Well, they will now. They'll call it like the Hobbit beard or something, the Hobbit bush. He's hiding in the bush like in Fortnite. That's right. He's got his own camouflage. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, they'll just do they'll just do a reboot of it, and then Night Strike can be in it. And hopefully then they won't screw up the ending.
Oh, man. Dude, I hope not. All right, so we got one here. Boob Sweat says, at Travis P11, considering trading an AR pistol build, got less than $400 wrapped up into it for a Rock Island Armory 45 ACP 1911 CS. Is it worth it? It wouldn't cost you much more to buy. Now, the CS, can you guys help me out here? The Rock Island 1911 CS. Which one is that? Does that have like adjustable sights on it? Is that a step up from the basic GI model?
It is, I think.
Rock Island, let's see, RI 1911 ES. And that's another thing we need to talk about too is, when it comes to buying used guns, you've also got the idea of trading, which is something that, always pops up too if you find the right person looking for the right thing. Oh, CS is the commander style one, commander size.
Is it Commander Stainless?
Yeah, maybe that's okay. They're all the CS and they just means commander size.
Yeah.
Now, do any of you guys have a commander size 1911? Are they finicky with ammo, or because they're a little bit shorter? Do you have to worry much about those at all in terms of just being jam-o-matics or not?
I don't know. I literally don't have a 1911 until Saturday. It will arrive at the FFL, but I got a Remington R1 stainless is what I ended up getting.
Oh, you went with that, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
nice. Yeah.
I found it for $4.99. And then with the $75 rebate, it's only $4.25. Like,
dude, that's freaking bad. You can't even now, considering that thing was probably $600 when it was brand new, or $700.
Yeah, for the stainless, I think they were $7 or $8 when they were brand new, like when they first came out.
Yeah, no, they're. I think the enhanced were about $1,000 if I'm not mistaken. Now I think they run about $700. So, Yeah. But okay, is it worth it? You know, Boopswood, I'd say you're probably just trading even up value for value. If you want a 1911, you know, and you're just sitting around that AR pistol and you don't really need it necessarily. You know, if you want a 1911, I'd say go ahead and do so. I've actually got an AR-15 of mine that I got up for sale right now, and I did put down that I would be willing to trade straight up for a 1911 if somebody has, you know, a decent enough model that I'd be interested in. I just thought I'd test the waters and see what's out there. But yeah, you know, Boopswood, I'd say if you want that size and that style, do some research and make sure they're not too ammo finicky, then go ahead and do so, you know. Yeah, so Travis T says commander size with a question mark by it. The commander size is going to be the shorter barrel model. I want to say it's like a 4 1/4 inch barrel, maybe even a little bit less, like 3 1/4, 3 1/2. Okay. Because then there's also the compact GIs, I think, which might be a little bit more. Because you got your standard GI size, and then you got your commander size. And then there's also the range officer models too.
Yeah, technically it's 3.62 inches, but you might as well say 3.5.
There you go.
3.5
yeah.
inches.
Blue Steel 44 says every American should have one. You know, I agree with you. Maybe it's just us, maybe it's just coincidence, but I know that this came up on Matt's show on Wednesday. I don't know who brought it up, but you're seeing a lot of 1911 stuff going on. I think a lot of us gun guys, I'm not going to say that we're getting bored with what's out there, but we've got the Glocks and the SIGs and the M&Ps, and we've got the ARs and the AKs. But for a lot of us, the 1911 is like, yeah, you know, it's all right, but you know, the round's not maybe what it should be or whatnot, although it's completely battle proven. But so I think a lot of us, plus you might have the disposable income at this point later on in life to get yourself a nice 1911, you know, where you've got the money to get yourself, you know, maybe something a little bit nicer than just a basic model. And there's nothing wrong with the basic model, but yeah, I agree with you that everybody should have one. So, all right.
I keep saying I'm going to get a 1911 and then I go and buy something else instead. It happens. It's like I can't buy one because I always end up buying something else.
Yeah.
Shotguns.
There we go.
No.
Here we go.
No, the last thing I bought was actually my CZT-10C. So.
Gotcha. Well, gentlemen, I think we'll go ahead and just go right into the discussion. So the topic is used guns, you know, buying used gun, a used gun buyer's guide. So I wanted to go through some of the different kind of categories of guns that people buy. First, I was just going to let you guys share maybe what some of your best purchases might have been, some of your best finds might have been in terms of the used market. If you guys really got any great deals on something or you found something really good. As I've discovered myself, you know, it is really hard to say no to cash sometimes. And I think it's the same way when you're interested in a gun, you whip the cash out. And a lot of times you can get a much better price than what you would think, you know. So do you guys have any real good experiences picking anything up used, or you just got a heck of a deal on it?
I don't think I've done a video on it, but I've talked about it on my show before, and I've talked about it on other shows. I got my HK USP. It was barely shot when I got it. It's a 1994 model. It was almost brand new in the box. I got it mid 2000s. I paid $600, little over $600 for it. At the time, they were still going for $1,000.
Say at least $900, if not more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, okay, if it's used, do you think the average person has really put the 25,000 rounds through the expected barrel life on it? You know, or 15,000 rounds, maybe. But I mean, if you get a chance to look at the rifling and the groups and stuff, and it looks good, you know.
When I got it, it looked like it had never been shot. There was a little bit of wear on the top of the, over top of the chamber where the slide had been ran across it because the finish they had on the barrel, the stainless barrel, so they had some markerization on it. So it almost looks like they tried polishing the top of the barrel almost, but you can see where there was some of the parkerization, whatever finish they had on, the HK had on there, where it just wore off. Other than that, I mean, there was no holster wear on it or anything. It looked like it was brand new.
Do you ever hear of any HKs having any inherent issues at all? I know Mac Military Arms channel had some issues with. I don't know if he got was it an MP5 or G36 or something? He bought a civilian model or something, had some problems with it, but
he got the civilian model, and if you get of the G36, if you get them converted, because there's a guy who you send it to him, he'll convert it back to where it's basically a semi-auto G36, and then they'll run well. But the original configuration, if they came into the country, doesn't even look like a G36, even though it's got the G36 barrel.
So that's what the SL8 or something like that.
It's something like
I
that.
thought his was an MP5, and he was really upset about it because of it came in like a cardboard box, and it had some major issues out of it that, it was his Father's Day gun, I thought is what it was from a year ago that he had some problems with it. I'll have to look that up and see if I can figure out what it is. But now granted, he bought that brand new, so that wasn't used. But okay, it was the UMP, the UMP 9mm.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Yeah, the civilian one, because they don't have the actual UMP frame, and that's another one where you send it to, I believe the same guy will convert it towards back to being a regular UMP again.
Okay.
Just the semi-auto version. And then once he does his conversion work on those, they run well too. The problem is the way they had to convert them to meet the sporting use clause. It caused some issues with them at times.
If they just built them here, they wouldn't have the problem.
Well, they're going to be. They're going to be building MP5s here. They're considering doing a civilian version of the G36 here, and they've also talked about possibly doing the UMPs here in both 40 and 9 for the civilian market. And
all I want is enough money to be able to convert one of the SL8s into an XM8. That's all I want. Doesn't have to be full auto, it just has to be semi.
Yeah, another thing they're considering doing, I heard somebody interviewed them, I forget where at, but they were also talking about bringing USP manufacturing up, ramping it back up because they get a lot of requests for it apparently, and making them here as well.
Wow.
Might go well.
Because right now, the reason why the USPs still cost as much as what they do, they're on a limited run production wise. They only make so many of them every year, then they shut down production on them, and then switch to production, the machining that they're using to make those to make more P30s. So they're only making so many SPs every year, and there's more demand for it than what they thought there was going to be. Because the USP is probably their best handgun that they have on the market right now.
Well, just in general, you don't. I mean, the gun stores I go to, I don't generally see a bunch of them floating around. I don't. And when you do see them, they're $800-900. So I mean, not that we can. I mean, we can all get them online. You can find them readily, but But if you can get a good deal on one used, man, I would say that's definitely the way to go.
Yeah,
and I think
great handgun. I love my USP. My wife loves my USP. So I think, I'm trying to figure out which one's her favorite, my USP or my 627. She loves both of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the 627.
I love arguing with firearms with the significant other when it's actually an important decision and not don't buy this. It's no, that one's mine. Oh man, yeah. Let's see.
Yes, according to her, all my guns are hers. So.
Remember when you guys got married? What's yours is mine. Remember that? Yeah.
But what's hers is yours.
Yeah. See what I was talking about with the top of the chamber there on the barrel. Yeah. But that's all the wear that was ever on it was a little bit like that.
That's just a little patina, man. That adds character to it. That says that that's a tool that's been used. Yeah. I wouldn't want a nice shiny one. Then you'd be worried about it. What's that?
Yeah. That's actually from the finish rubbed off, where it looks like. That's all that is. It's not even patina. That's just what's left of the finish that's on it.
So let's run this one through the panel real quick, and you guys can share with me the best deal on anything used that you've ever gotten or just a good deal on a used firearm, or your favorite used firearm that you bought where you didn't get it new. Honda, I'm going to start off with you. Honda, do you have anything that you picked up that was just a really good deal used? That's just man, you got a killer deal on it. Because sometimes we look around, we can see that too. So.
Yeah, I actually got a 22 rifle for my kids, 702 Pointster for $89.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it looked like it had never been used.
Very cool. David, what about you, man? Have you picked up any good used handguns in your time so far?
The vast majority of all the firearms that I own are used guns. Out of all the rifles that I've got, only one of them is new. Every other one is I bought used, and I think it was 4, maybe 5 of my handguns I bought used.
Now, in Maryland, when you go used, are there private sales in Maryland at all or not?
Yeah, for a rifle and shotgun, handgun, you still got to go through the FFL.
Now, but your Ruger SR 1911 was brand new, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure about that. So, and yeah, when I look those up used, man, they cost almost as much as they do brand new. You're almost better off just getting a new one anyway. So,
Well, yeah, and not
yeah.
only, it's kind of like my experience with gun channels. I got it into buying guns and talking about guns, and then I was, pretty well accepted in the gun channels like overnight, which was super cool to me because, I spent so much time following everything that all the gun channels members were doing,
Mhm.
and for you guys to welcome me in with open arms was really cool. And I kind of got the same treatment at my local range. Uh, Basically, from day one, me and the friend that I go with just became a part of the regulars, I guess you could say. So anybody who brought a new gun to the range, don't even ask Dave. Yes, just go get him. He wants to shoot it. I got a gun for sale. Let me ask Dave first.
Yeah, there
And
you go. There you go.
that's always worked out. That's seemed to work out for me. Plus, it's not strangers. These are guys that have taught me a lot about guns, and I've went out to lunch with and
Mhm.
spent time with it, even at their houses and stuff like that. So, I know I'm basically buying a gun from a friend, not a stranger.
Oh yeah, definitely. A couple comments coming in over here. Two Gun Kitty Catnip Outlaw says, I find used gun prices in Albuquerque tend to be high, about $50 cheaper than new. I see that in general. I'm in quite a few gun groups over on MeWe. It's MEWE. I think it's MeWe.com. That's all of us that got booted out of Facebook that were in all the gun groups, all of us that were buy, selling, and trading legally firearms on Facebook. We all just went over to MeWe, and those groups just went over there. It's the same exact people. And great people, but the prices tend to be, people don't want to lose money on their guns, especially if they don't have a lot of wear and tear on it. They're going to want to get close to what they paid new. Not to mention a lot of the money you pay on that new gun, you got sales tax that goes into it also. And so a lot of times, somebody wants almost the price of new when they're selling it used. Now, so Two Gun Kitty Catnip Outlaw doesn't mean you can't negotiate with cash, because with cash, you might be able to pull off a better price. Somebody might say, well, yeah, I'm only $50 below the price of a new one. But if you say, well, I got $400 cash. I know you want $500, but I got $400 in my hands right now. Do you want to move it? Man, a lot of times people are just like, yes, definitely. Because sometimes people sell guns for various reasons, Who is the beardless guy that sounds like Travis? Rolling Trip, that would be Travis, yes. If you go back and watch Caliber Corner from last summer at this time, it was the exact same situation. But come August, we'll get the scruff going on again. I got about an 8-week hiatus of shaving. And then after that, we're going to go back to getting back on the growth block here.
That's P11's evil twin.
That's his evil twin, yes.
From the alternate reality. That's Travis P11.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. No, man, I'm telling you, it's what I got to do, man. It's what I got to do. If anybody wants to argue with my grandma, I'll go ahead and give you the phone number. You can give her a call. You're going to lose, so. What else we got here? I find used gun prices. I got an H&R Model 88 for $80. The only thing wrong with it is that it had a little surface rust and the buttstock was loose. Both were fixed with 5 minutes worth of work. Yeah, and sometimes if you don't mind doing a little bit of gunsmithing yourself, and doing some refinishing and so on, you can really bring a lot of guns back too. So let's see. Mac Loves Live says, hi, Travis11, just sub to you. Welcome to the channel, man. I appreciate it. Take a cheap Saturday night special in and cash, no tax on the trade. See what else we got here. Today's the 15th anniversary of Killdozer. Oh yeah. All right. That was the armor-plated bulldozer that ran through the streets of LA. Is that what I was thinking of? Is that what that was? I can't remember. Let's see. Go to a shop with a range if you have one and try it before you buy it. If not, do your research and try as many friends' guns as you can, in my opinion. Yes, I agree with you on that one, Rob D. If you can, take it out and test it, because there's a lot of people that will, say, oh, it runs great, it runs awesome. You buy it, you take it out a couple months later to the range, and sure enough, it's got the issues. It's got, extraction issues and so on. Luckily, a lot of your guns have really good warranties. You can get them fixed under warranty. Especially if it's, some of these brands, they don't care who the owner is. You've got a lifetime warranty regardless. So if you know the brand, like say Smith & Wesson or Ruger, High Point, Sky, not that I recommend Sky, but a lot of these companies, they have lifetime warranties on the guns. So if you happen to get it, you're going to be okay. If you have to send it in and get it repaired, Of course, there could have been modifications done to the weapon that caused issues too. So you got to watch out for that. So moving down the line, Nice Strike, what about you? Have you ever bought any used guns at all?
I've bought several. One of them I'm still in the process of fixing up because, well, it's an old bolt action 22, but the problem is the older you get, the harder it is to find some parts. because this old bolt action 22 is a Stevens Model 83 from the 30s. It's no serial number on it whatsoever because they weren't required to back then. And unfortunately, the parts I'm trying to find for it are the parts that are hard to find.
So what you're saying is we need to set up a team of scouting out Tulsa at Wanamaker.
I need a barrel stud replacement. That's the nut that goes onto the barrel that you use the takedown screw to mount it to the stock. And because the one I've got on the barrel, I have to tap out because it's stripped.
Now, when you get in, that's another thing too. If you get yourself an old gun thinking, oh man, I'm going to get me a project gun, you might be a little surprised with how hard it is to find parts for that particular gun.
But you know, at $50, that wasn't such a bad deal, even for a broken gun.
Yeah, this is true. And you know, it's kind of part of history. It's fun to tinker around with these sometimes and kind of make a gunsmith special out of them, you know.
No, again, one that did work that I bought, I paid like, $40 for it off of Arms List from a guy, here in South Carolina, and it was a double action, single action, old school Ivor Johnson 32 Smith & Wesson revolver. Said the double action, single action stopped working. You know what I found out? Just the grease he had on it, just basically it freezed up the gun, sprayed it off with CLP, and hey, guess what? Double action, single action all day long.
Say good as new again, basically.
Well, some of the nickel plating is coming off, but not really. But it works, And then I know I've had some woes with the C308, but after I replaced the trigger pack in that, it's been smooth sailing. Even AWAC likes it.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
AWAC didn't like his C308, and he got rid of it. But when he got mine, he's like, I want to take this home with me.
Now he wants one back. And,
well,
I
also had the bayonet lug and the bayonet on it, so I think that might have something to do with it.
So, if you don't mind dropping $1,000, you can get a PTR 91 and do well. But otherwise, what's a C3 run? $699, $599?
Thing is, a few years ago when they were going for the price, they were in demand. So the price on them had gone up to like $7.99. You remember that?
Classic had them for a short period of time. They had like brown Cerakote ones or FDE ones and green ones, and they were $4.99 or something. $5.59.
That was a year later. The year before they were going like $7.99. And I got mine off of Arms List from FFL in Indiana and had them ship it to my FFL for $500.
Yeah.
I was happy with that. Yes, I had to do some work on it to get it working properly, but after I got the parts from Tulsa, it's been smooth sailing ever since.
Way to rock. Some more comments coming in on the YouTube side here. Is there such a thing as a used Sky? Yeah, Blue Steel. I had one, buddy. Don't you still have stock in Sky, Travis? No, I don't have stock in Sky, even though they sell tons of guns. And apparently I'm the only YouTube channel that had problems with his down the road. Of course, I put a lot more rounds through mine than a lot of other people really would. But
Sky.
What's that?
I would not buy stock in Sky.
Or
Colt, for that matter.
Sky's selling handguns, whether you like it or not. They sell tons and tons of them. If you look at, all these different colors, they have all these different deals around every.
I have to like it.
What's that?
It doesn't mean I have to like it.
No, not at all. No, I agree. All right. So Rich, what about you? Talking used here, you showed off that H&K. What else have you picked up used, Rich?
Let's see. I got my Harris Rough Rider, which again, just about brand new when I got it. It was used. It's the one that has both the 22 long rifle and the 22 Magnum cylinders.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's in beautiful condition. I got it right here. You wouldn't even know this thing was used to look at it.
How much was that?
I'm trying to remember how much I paid for this one. I think I paid like $120, $125 for it.
Is it normally about $170, $160?
Yeah.
Okay, if you get one.
The one with both cylinders. So.
And again, a lot of times when you're buying used from another person, sales tax is not an issue. So that's definitely a nice thing too, because that can get expensive on some more pricey guns. Yeah.
We're gonna get the cylinder out.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of stuff all packed up because we were going to go to the range over the weekend, but something nonsense happened and we weren't able to. I still got stuff packed up.
No, that's all right.
Yeah. And see, here's the second cylinder. I mean, this is the 22 mag cylinder on it, and you look at it, it doesn't look like it was ever used.
Mm-hmm. That's a fun little gun to shoot, man. That's that and 1911. Those are the two guns that everybody should have, whether you think you need one or not. You know.
Yeah. I don't know why my wife says she doesn't like this one, but man, I was sitting there, I'm like holding this thing out, doing it the one hand shooting like they were meant with like the 1911. Yeah, this is a 1911, folks. The way that 1873 was meant to be shot with one hand, I'm sitting there, ping, 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 just nailing the heck out of that target.
Yeah, man. Especially you know where the sweet spot is on those things. They run well.
Yeah.
Cool,
Hey, Travis.
man. Yo.
I did have one more quick story before I gotta go in and work.
Yeah, man.
So the first motorcycle I ever bought, right? Like I was saving money, and I couldn't quite get there, and like the bike that I would want would be gone. And so this one guy was selling a Ninja, like a Kawasaki Ninja, and I ended up trading him an AR-15 that I had built, like an AR pistol.
Yeah.
That I built for about $400, and he gave me, it was like $800 off of the price of the final price of the bike. So that was like double my money on that one.
That dude, I came really, really close to trading my AMD 63 for like an 03 Tahoe that this guy had for sale. He was asking like $1,100 for it, $1,200 for it. And I go, well, I've got an AK-47 with like 1,000 rounds. You want to trade straight up? And he's like, sure. And I looked at it,
and you'll get deals like that too, because like when someone's trying to sell something, they might prescribe more money for the gun that you're trading towards the trade or for the trade than it's actually worth, or that you could get if you sold it by itself.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I just wanted to share that one real quick.
I got another one here. This one was my son's 19th birthday present.
So Rich, I'm not supposed to ask you prices because if the significant other is there, that can get you in a lot of hot water. Because you got to be honest with us, and so maybe that's not
Yeah, this is my son's 19th birthday present.
What is that? What kind is that?
That's a Llama Minimax in 40.
Oh wow! Okay.
It's what he wanted for his 19th birthday, so that's what he got.
Nice. Can you even get mags for that thing?
Yeah, it takes us Mekar 1911 mags. So
you said Chamberlain 40 Smith, huh?
Yeah, he wanted it in 40. This is the mag that came with it. Standard mag that came with it was a 7. The Mekar mag's an 8-round mag that he has for it. Sweet. The Mekar mag sticks out just a little bit from the bottom, just a wee tiny little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Cool. Fine Ape says, "Holy." Fine Ape just discovered that I've shaven. When did his 10-year-old son take over Caliber Corner? Wow, man. I'll tell you what, Fine Ape. Oh man. I've since passed it off to Travis P11 Jr. Although there isn't one, there could be one somewhere that I don't know about. I hope not. But now don't worry, Fine Ape. 8 weeks, we'll start growing it back out again. I promise. All right. So Sandhills, moving on to you, man. Are you much of a used gun guy at all, Sandhills? What do you think?
I'm not opposed to it. I just don't have a lot of experience with shopping for used guns.
We don't have enough cooking oil.
Have you picked any up at all? Anything you said at all?
Not in a long time. I've picked up a rifle before, and in a previous life, I had a few guns that came off an auction. Had a Romanian AK that was pretty decent.
Oh, okay.
Had a C308. Didn't know what I had, so gave that one away to somebody. But no, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I just there's not a whole lot of things to pick from here as far as used racks go, unless you get to a gun show. And of course, everybody knows you don't go to a gun show to save money, because everybody's awful proud of what they brought, whether it's used or new. So I'm just kind of here to learn.
Oh, that's fine, man. Like I said, we'll talk about some of the specific models and what to watch out for when you're in the used market, because there's little things you want to look for when you go check these out. So yeah, and again, when it comes to used prices, man, I mean, sometimes you just don't, unless you got the cash. When you go to the gun show and stuff, many times they want pretty close to what they want brand new. So
Now, here's a question.
Yeah,
if
man.
you're buying a used gun, does it matter to you if it has a lifetime warranty or not?
Oh God, that's a good question.
Which
I mean,
companyes'
yeah.
warranties are transferable?
I know that High Point is. I know that Sky is. I mean, I'm sure there's more, but I'm trying to think because a lot of times they don't want. I believe Ruger, they don't advertise any warranty at all because they say in their paperwork they're not legally required to, but they just say if you ever have problems with your gun, send it in, and it doesn't say that you need a receipt or proof of purchase or anything. So they just straight up tell you whether or not they're going to fix it. As we've discovered with a few people that have sent into Ruger, they've never had Ruger deny them a repair. I mean, Tony blew his up, or part of his up, his Super Blackhawk, I think is what it was, running rounds that were overloaded, and they still repaired it. So, Ruger I know is pretty solid. Here's the thing, Honda. You're talking about that. I believe that Glocks only have a 3-year warranty, if I'm not mistaken. I know that car handguns have a 5-year warranty with them. I would not hesitate to buy a used Glock or a used M&P.
I was just going to say that same thing. If there was a used Glock, I wouldn't hesitate at all. But I think Smith & Wesson, don't they have a lifetime warranty?
They do. Yeah.
So that's always a good one for me if I'm looking for something used, like a used revolver. Like you can definitely find a used Smith & Wesson for a lot cheaper than you can a new one, like almost in like the Rossi or Taurus prices for some of them.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's a good thing to look for. And then if there's any problem with timing or whatever, you can send it into them and they'll fix it for you.
Now with Taurus, I mean, they've got a lifetime warranty, but I don't know if that's the original purchaser, and I don't know if you have to have your receipt, because for a while Taurus went to a 1-year setup, and now they're back to, as of a couple months ago, they went back to a lifetime warranty. You want to check the manual on that, because I don't know if Taurus warranties are transferable. I know that they're lifetime now, I believe, on all the pistols. I think they're retro. They go back. Anything from a certain model on, it has a lifetime warranty on it. You're going to be okay. But yeah, like I said, the Glock is as long as it's a gun that I know I can readily get parts for, that I'm not going to worry about it. Of course, let's say you get yourself a used AR-15 and you don't bother to check the barrel, the rifling in the barrel, and the barrel's all shot out. You might be setting yourself up for a slightly expensive fix, especially when you look at the price of it used and then the new part that you need to replace it. But yeah, I mean, for certain brands, I wouldn't hesitate to pick one up used. I bought a used Smith & Wesson SD9VE from SS Pawn, and that thing was it needed to be cleaned up, but it was perfectly, it looked like it had hardly been fired. When I took it apart, it looked like somebody put 25 rounds through it, and that was it. And I bought it knowing that I had the lifetime warranty with it. If something would happen, I could always send it back. So
I had a SW9VE that I bought used at a pretty good price too. And when I sold it, I got every penny back.
Did you ever have problems with it? Because mine had problems with going into battery right out of the box.
No, man.
Okay.
It never had a single problem. The only problem I had with it was the freaking trigger, man. But that's just because it's like a 10-pound trigger. But.
Well, when you groom yourself on a Sky CPX2, I honestly think you can fire about anything. Like a 10 to 12 pound trigger pull. If you can learn on that thing, you can shoot on damn near anything. Say short of like a P64, which has like a 20-pound trigger pull or something in double action. But my SD9VE, I love shooting that thing. It fits the hand perfect, and I've gotten used to knowing when it's going to break. So I don't have any problems with it. But
right, if you stage the trigger, if you get used to it, if you shoot it enough. And my nephew actually has a SD9VE that he shoots really, really well. So it's not anything inherently wrong with the accuracy of the gun. It's just the shooter getting used to it and training with it,
Yeah, in fact, I got a video coming up on the MP9. I took one back out again. I borrowed stands again, and I took it out after 3 years because I didn't shoot it with the darn the first time I took it out. I had problems with it, and not problems with the gun. I had problems shooting it well, but the second time I just took it out, man, it was tight, man. I think part of it was because I'd fired that SD9VE so much that the M&P trigger is so similar to it that whether it has whether it has kind of a wall and a break or not, it doesn't matter to me. But a lot of people that have grown up shooting Glocks and stuff, you're used to that crisp snap on a break, and you don't get that on the M&Ps or the SD9VEs. Not with a factory trigger, at least. So that's something to consider when you get one. And the SD40s, obviously the same thing too.
Now, people always complain about that with the Shield too, but I have a wall and a break with my Shield.
Yeah, I agree. They do. Yeah.
I don't know if maybe the earlier Gen 1 Shields didn't, but people have always, every time you see somebody talk about a Shield, they're like, get the Apex trigger, get the Apex trigger.
Yeah.
I've got the stock trigger. I don't have a problem with it.
Maybe they just assume it's going to have a bad one just because it's in the M&P kind of idea or line, although the trigger mechanism is totally different. It's not the same thing. So I don't think it's going to be affected by it. Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. One last thing, and then I actually got to walk into work here, man. Maybe you guys saw there at a little bit through the chat, I was at the gym working out. That's part of my challenge to all Gun Channel's members, to do something to better yourself and your health, and get yourself in a better position to be able to help people out in times that you need it. And that includes fitness as well as the equipment that you have with you. So I just wanted to throw that out there and, say, come check out the channel on Sunday. We're doing the conspiracy chat. Anybody who wants to swing by, and thanks a lot, man. Thanks for having me on.
Real quick, what time is that on again? You said it's in the evening. Is that right?
It's 1 p.m. Colorado.
Okay, 2:00 Central, 3:00 East Coast time. There you go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And
Sweet.
Thanks, Travis, for having me on, man. I always appreciate being on your channel. You're a good guy.
No problem, man. Hey, have a good shift, man. Have a good time.
All right, we'll see. It's all you can eat wings tonight. So.
Ooh, I'm there. Like I said, I can be there in 5 hours. We will meet up this summer. All right, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, man. I'll have that 1911 pretty soon too, and I'll be doing a video on that. And I'd love to come meet up with you and do some shooting.
I'm working on it, dude. I'm working on it. So, hey, real quick, let's see what we got here. Fine Abe says, spend a little extra, get the PC shield. Yeah, the Performance Center shield. Dude, I love the Performance Center guns from Smith, man. They're freaking awesome. Adam Jimenez has a super chat that he dropped in there. He says, whatever you do, don't say, damn it, Bobby. Do I look like King of the Hill? Do I look like King of the Hill? Is that what's going on? Oh, man. Damn it, Bobby, get over here.
Wait. Say Strickland propane.
I'm doing propane. What's that?
There you go.
Boy, get over here. Oh, man. Let's see. Rob D. New York Outcast, he says that the M&P, it's hard to beat when you get it for that price. Yeah, those M&P LEO trade-ins, $300, man, I'd buy one in a heartbeat. After shooting stands, man, that thing is freaking, I love it. And I don't understand why I didn't like it the first time I took it out. And then Rob D also says, I've got a shield with a stock trigger and it can hit well with it. About 5 years later, I still love it. Great gun for the price. So, Sandy, how long have you had your shield for? You going on 3 or 4 years with it now?
I was just figuring that up the other day. It's
you talked about it. You mentioned it during 2A Tuesday.
It's been, let's see, I got my permit in 2016, so we're coming up on 3 years I've had the gun. Because I got it a few months after I got my carry permit. I wanted it because I could conceal it a lot better.
Oh yeah, they're nice and thin. Yeah.
And we went out to the range last night, and I shot a few more rounds through the shield, and I worked on finger placement, and I'm pretty sure that the fact that it shoots left is probably me. But it still shoots
a little more finger on the trigger. Did you get a little more finger on there than you normally do?
I got a little less.
Okay,
I centered the pad instead of going a little too far, because I think that's what was doing it.
Okay, kind of curling it as you turn your finger in. Yeah.
Yeah, but I did find out that it still shoots low. The sights are they're 3-dot sights, and I know a lot of people do this on purpose, but I'm just not used to burying my target in my sights. I mean, I've got to line it up with the dots, not the classic sight picture where you put your target right on top of the front sight post to make it level with your rear sight, which is how I learned, and that's what I'm used to. So, in a high stress situation, I'm sure it's not going to be a problem, but at the same time, it's just something that I have to decide if I like or not. PPQ does the same thing.
Okay.
I shot it low, but that's a sweet shooting little gun.
Yeah, I'm going to say I love my shield. Mine's in 40, but it by no means does it have target sights on it. Mine does the same thing. It'll shoot low, and if I'm depending on how I'm pulling the trigger, it'll shoot left. But it's definitely me that's causing it to shoot left, but it does shoot low.
I noticed with the SD9V and also the M&P, basically my front middle dot, whatever it covered, that's where the bullets were going to go. So I don't know if it's just kind of inherent to some of the Smith guns. Maybe that's just how they tune them. I don't know. I mean, I doubt it, but it just seems like I noticed that also. And if I put the target on top of the dot, it was going to shoot low. So I had to pretty much have the front dot on the target, and that's where the shots would go.
Yeah.
So,
now,
yeah.
My 2.0 compact, on the other hand, its sights are pretty much dead on. Wherever I point those sights is where it's going to hit.
Okay. Yeah, those M&Ps, man, definitely a good one. So Gung Ho over on the gun channel side, he says the great thing about buying used is 1, the hunt, finding great deals, 2, saving money because most people buy guns, shoot them once, and then put them in a safe. This is true. And then they get short on cash, and bingo, gun gets a new gun. Yeah, that's it. David says almost all my guns are used. Gung Ho says I like to buy used. It feels like a treasure hunt. I agree with you totally. I've just noticed that the used market in my neck of the woods, all the groups and the people selling guns on MeWe, the used market has slowed down tremendously because I'm seeing guns that have been advertised. Unless these guys and gals aren't taking them off of MeWe that are advertising them, there's guns I've been seeing up there that have been up there for almost a year that people are selling. You know, a big part of it is we had our glut before the election. We bought what we thought we wanted. We bought what we thought we were going to lose. And then, you know, the election turned out, well, more or less to be in a gun owner's favor. Not necessarily, but everybody got confident thinking that, oh, with Trump, we're going to be good. So there's no reason to buy, you know, guns at this point. I got everything I need. Or you spend all your money on guns. So I think the used market, I mean, people are just kind of sitting on a lot of guns right now. And there's just not a big demand at this point, unless there's any kind of litigation pending or there's going to be any chance of any kind of a restriction. But then again, that also means those guns that are sitting out there, I could probably offer some of these people some real low dollar offers. I don't want to offend anybody, but I mean, if I want to get a good deal, I can at least ask, you know? Okay, Squibbliff, we got to get to you. We didn't get a chance to get to you, Squibby. Are you big on buying guns used? Have you purchased any used firearms at all?
I've bought some used ones.
Okay, what do you have? What have you picked up?
I mean, pretty much every milsurp I have is used, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've had situations. Well, my SR 1911 that was used. This guy at work, he was consolidating calibers. He wanted to have the same caliber as his wife. So he was dropping down a 9mm. He said, "Look, man, I can take this down to the store and I can trade it in towards the cost of a new 9mm, but they're not going to give me crap for it." Mm-hmm. And, you know, he sold it to me for, at that time, was the going price for a new SR 1911. But he included a bunch of mags in it, and some of them were Wilson combat mags, so they weren't cheap. And I'm like, yeah, I've been wanting to get a 1911 again. It's been a while, and, you know, I wanted to help him out and stuff. So I bought it. Everything was good. A little bit later, the prices on that particular model went down. And even with the mags, it's kind of like, I don't know. But then they turned right around and rebounded and went right back up.
Yeah.
So that sort of thing can happen with a used sale. I've noticed going to gun shows, whether it be new or used, you go to a gun show, at least around here, one day, and they got deals. Everybody's trying to move inventory. They got deals. They're willing to wheel and deal. And then you go another time, and I want the same amount or more for this used gun as the exact same gun brand new from the gun store. Well, dude, where's the incentive? You know, I've bought milsurps where they've given me a break on the second, and then at one point I had a potential third gun. You know, if you're buying more than one from them, sometimes they'll cut you a deal. And I always think that's good. If you're selling a used gun and it's not rare, or there's not a big demand for them, say all the, you know, we had another panic buy and all the ARs and AKs dried up. You could sell your AR or AK for a lot more money, even if it's used, because there are people that are desperate to get them. And some people could say that's price gouging, and to some extent it is. Mm-hmm. But that's where the value's gone up.
It's also supply and demand.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, this is true.
But I mean, if you've got a bolt-action hunting rifle that brand new at the store is $300, and you've got one and you've had it for 20 years, and there's nothing special about it, not like, you know, it's an older version, so it's made better, like the 700s or something like that. Mm-hmm. But it's just, you've used it every year to go hunting. It's a little bit beat up, it's a little bit worn, it's got scratches on whatever, and you take it down to the gun show and you want to sell it for $350. Dude, you know, well, I got a case, and it's this ratty old nasty case that's seen, you know, a couple 100,000 miles, and it's like, who are you fooling? So every now and then, I just, I'll go to the gun show and I'll see it go one way or the other. You either go in there and you see a lot of good stuff and you get a lot of good deals, or you go in there and it's like, I could have gone to the gun store. And around here, there's tons of gun stores. If you live somewhere where there aren't a lot of gun stores, then you got to take what you get at the gun show.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm fortunate in that regard. But when I got my Yugoslavian Mauser, that's when I picked up my M1 Garand, and he knocked the price down. Combined total, I think he took like $50 or $100 off because I was buying 2 rifles from him. He said, "You want to get a Mosin sniper while you're here?" I had the money. Brand new crate of them, covered in Cosmoline. This is back when you could buy them with the original PU scopes.
Yeah.
You could buy crates of these all day long, cheap. And I'm like, nah, I'll pass on it. Why? Because they were a dime a dozen back then. I'm kicking myself for not buying that, but I probably could have weaseled a deal by getting that 3rd rifle. When I got my SMLE, he said, all right, I see you got a case there, so I don't have to give you a sock to put it in because you can't walk out of the gun show unless they're in a case. Well, the case could hold 3 long guns. When I opened it up, he noticed that. He goes, hey, that'll fit 3 long guns. So, yeah. He goes, you want to put 2 more in there? And I said, I don't have enough money to buy anything you've got here. So I couldn't even put a 2nd one in there. And he goes, well, how much you got? And I pulled all the money out of my wallet. And he says, if I knock $50 off of this one, you've got enough money. So I ended up walking out of there with a 2nd Milsurp. And sometimes that's the way it happens, So I recommend bringing a case that'll hold more than 1 rifle. You might be able to pull off the same stunt.
Dude, those Mosin snipers, I don't want to make you feel bad, but they start about $1,000 and they go up from there on Gunbroker.
I honestly cannot remember what they were, but okay, to give you an example.
I think $400. When I first started shopping for Mosins, I think the $400 was what the snipers were. And then a Hex was like $129 or something, or maybe $350 for a sniper.
To give you an idea about what I walked away with that day, I think I ended up paying like $250 for the Mauser and $450 for the Garand.
Oh man.
Yeah, so that PU scope sniper was probably, somewhere in that range. So yeah, and I had the money too. I'm just like, nah, just get it next time. And,
Oh man. Well, I mean, you can still get one now. You just got to sell your truck to go buy it. So.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, though, now it's not even on the radar. I mean, like if I come across one and I thought it was all original, it wasn't counterfeit. And if somebody had a good deal on it, I knew the person, and maybe they needed some money, and maybe it's something where I've got it for a few years, and if they want to buy it back, they can buy it back for the same price. I would do that sort of thing, but with the exception of Milsurps, I typically just don't buy them used. It's not that there's anything wrong with the used gun. It just really depends. I guess if I know the person, I'm more likely to buy it used.
Oh, yeah,
if it's a newer model. Yeah, if it's something that you can go buy right now, a brand new version of the exact same gun, and it's a stranger, I don't know. Because people like to bubba up their guns, and you can't always tell until you take the thing apart.
Mm-hmm.
And, I really don't want to take it apart and find out that, they did something to it. And like I said, there are those guys that show up to the gun show that they think that their gun, used, beaten up, is worth more than the current production model of that gun. I don't understand the logic.
People don't want to lose money, so they think they can fool you. They think that, I'm going to sell this to somebody that's not. And there are people that are not gun people that might say, hey, this guy's got to use such and such, and they don't bother looking up the prices, or maybe they don't use the internet to look up prices. My old man will call me all the time whenever a buddy's got a gun for sale, because my dad doesn't use the internet. He doesn't look stuff up on ever. So he'll call me up and have me do the research and let him know if it's a good price or not.
And my thought on that is, if you're selling it because you need the money for whatever, okay, then you need to be willing to take a loss on the gun. Otherwise, whatever it is you're selling it for, you really don't need that bad.
Yeah.
And if you're my friend and you're going to sell me one of your used guns, even if it's because you need the money or not, or you're just looking to get rid of it, the wife's up your butt about it, or you just don't like it no more, or whatever it is, if you're my friend, you're going to give me a deal on it. Now, if I'm your friend, I'm not going to try to steal the damn thing from you, right? But I'm like I said, that guy, sold me the SR 1911 for about what they were going for new, but he included in a bunch of Wilson Combat mags with it, and it really didn't bother me. In the end, I walked away a little bit better And he did better off than going to the, and he was, the fact that I knew the guy is a friend of mine from work, and he was being straight with me about, I'm not going to get anywhere near this amount on a trade-in. Because gun stores have to make money too, and they will give you next to nothing for your used gun, and then they'll turn around and mark it up big time, but it may sit on their shelf for 2 years too. So, yeah, I just kind of think that if you're selling it because you need the money no matter what, you should be willing to take a loss on it. Otherwise, don't insult me.
Scott P79 says, I can see paying more for a pre-Freedom Group Marlin. Yeah, pre-Freedom Group Marlin 336s are starting to go in the $600 to $700 range, which you can buy a brand new Marlin 3030 at Walmart for, $500. I think I've seen them for a little bit less than that on clearance this spring. And so people want the pre-Freedom. They want the tool steel forged internals in that gun. They want the quality and the craftsmanship that went into the pre-Freedom Group Marlin. So yeah, that's another one to invest in. If you guys can get your hands on probably a I don't know what year that happened, like a pre-2000 Marlin.
So would you want to write down the serial number ranges then? Kind of like when you're going for milsurp, there are certain serial number ranges of certain kinds of milsurp rifles that are worth more as collector's items than other rifles made in that that particular model. They're either made before the war, after the war. There's certain series they did something to. And if you've got some of these books, they're great resources. It'll have that information. You could write that down, put it in your pocket. So there's got to be a way to get it for the Marlins, right? So you would know the difference.
I did. When I got mine, I went online. I just typed in Marlin 336 serial lookup number, and there's an old Web 1.0 website that has the number ranges with the dates, and it says if you got this model number, if you got this serial number, this is when it was made. This model number, this is when it was made. This model number could have been a transition period because some of those, when they moved Marlin from wherever they were at to, I believe New York is where they moved them to, they still had some of the old JM barrels or the old JM stamp parts they took with them. So there's a certain date range that was a transition gun, which is what you might want to stay away from because that's when Marlin basically, I believe a lot of the gunsmiths didn't get to keep their jobs when Freedom Group moved them. And I don't know did they become part of Remington or something like that? I can't remember what the deal is, but there's a lot of problems with those transition guns. The newer ones are okay in my opinion. I mean, the quality, just the bluing and stuff is just not there in my opinion versus the pre-Freedom Group gun, just like any gun these days. A lot of them, they cheapened out on them in the bean counters and stuff. And I doubt you get the hardcore, the rugged internals of the old 336. But yeah, you can easily look up 336 serial numbers online. And then also, since I want to kind of go into Mosin Nagants here for a little bit, you go to 7.62x54r.net, and you can figure out exactly which Mosin you have, which factory it came from, whether or not it's a Dragoon model, or if it's just a standard model, or if it's a true sniper. You can punch your serial number in on that. It'll tell you specifically when it was made and where, and whether or not if it has any kind of special lineage to it. Because, like the Finnish Keep models, those definitely sell a lot more. What I think there was a batch of American-made Mosins that never actually got delivered. I don't know, was it Westinghouse or somebody that made them? I can't remember who it was back in the day.
This is Winchester or Remington. Yeah, they had a contract, and then the what is it? The Bolsheviks overthrew the Tsar, so the stuff never. Yeah. Yeah,
they're yeah. Go ahead.
I was just saying, yeah, that's what it was. The Bolsheviks. Basically, what happened to the Mosins was the same thing that happened to the Russian Winchesters.
Yeah,
it's not Russian, so it's no good.
I'd buy an American. I mean, I would probably have no trouble buying. We're talking guns that were made from a long time ago. I mean, when they actually, not that they don't put care into them nowadays, but just older guns, there's just a feel to them that you just don't, a heft to them that you just don't seem to get.
And see, when somebody gets a Mosin and they chop the crap out of it and put all this garbage on it and all that, and then they take it to the gun show and they go, yeah, that's worth a lot of money there, boy. It's like, no, you ruin the historical value of it. I don't care how many scopes you put on it and all the other garbage, that silly bipod and everything else. You just destroyed a piece of history. It's worth nothing to me. Nothing. But that's not to say I've never bought a sporterized rifle. I was against them for a long time, and my buddy had a good deal on one, and I'm like, nah. And then about a year later, I'm like, you have that Enfield, do you? And he just, yeah, you want it?
And I'm seeing now even the sporterized, even the sporterized models are starting to go up in price now if you look them up online, because the originals are out of reach. Now the sporterized models, like somebody that has it in a chop down stock, or they've got it in an ATI stock or something like that. I mean, yeah, they're going. I mean, they're going up for the same price as what that original model was going for, say 5 years ago. You know.
Yeah, even the ones where people would bring the rifles back from Germany or whenever they came home from World War II or World War I, and they would splitterize them. Those ones are going up because they actually do now have historical value, because what was done to them back then to splitterize them actually adds now, because of how old they are.
Mm-hmm.
It has historical value because the way they were changed and everything. Their value was changing now was different.
I won't sporterize one myself, but after buying this one, I would buy one that was already sporterized. But there's just some stuff that I've seen people do to a historical rifle that is, it's almost like desecrating a national monument or putting graffiti on a wall or something. I've seen some that it's like, I don't care how rare these guns get. What you've done to it is, so I mean, sporterizing is one thing, but I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm talking about when they were original. If somebody brought it back, and as soon as they brought it back, they turned it into a hunting rifle. That's not the same as somebody today going and buying a mil-spec and saying, I'm going to sporterize that. That's not what I'm talking about. You know, I'm not talking about somebody goes and cuts the barrel down and throws an ATI stock on it. I'm talking about somebody who may have did a really good job of like cutting down the wood stock and everything on it way back in the day.
Let's go into talking about some specific models. If you're going to buy it used, what do you need to look for? Because, I mean, a lot of people might not realize that there's certain finicky problem areas that you want to watch out for. First thing I would say is, you know, there's nothing wrong with just getting a nice impulse used gun purchase. I think that can be a lot of fun. You know, many times you can get yourself a real good deal. If you know you want something and you want to get it used, research that model, see if they have any inherent problems new, and then see if there's any problem areas for that particular gun, and be prepared to maybe spend some gunsmithing money on it or replacement parts and whatnot if you're going to get it. But I want to start off talking about the Mosin Nagant. Who all has a Mosin Nagant in the panel here? Squib, do you have a Mosin Nagant?
I got a couple.
Okay. I don't know if you'd admit it or not. So, Sandhills, you got a Mosin? You might be eating dinner at this point. See, Rich, you have a Mosin Nagant?
Not currently, no.
But you've had one before, though?
Yeah, a while back when you could get them for the snipers when they were like 250.
Oh, yeah.
And 80s, early 90s, I had one back then.
All right. And David Bowling, do you have a Mosin Nagant?
No, and sadly, I have to say I've never even had an opportunity to shoot one.
Oh, man, they're fun. They're awesome.
It's on the list, and it will get checked off the list, but
okay.
I have to say I haven't even shot one yet.
Yeah, they are a thumper. They are fun to shoot.
Well, I've got a friend that has a 1943, and it looks like it was fought at the Battle of Stalingrad. It's you know, you can tell it's a wartime production because it's very rough production. I mean, it shoots like a dream, but it looks like it probably took down some Nazis. But yeah, he's asking about as much as, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's asking basically market value. He wants like $350 for it. I would buy it because it's not pitted and rusted and corroded, and it's really nice condition. I mean, but it's got that rough. You can see that they were in a hurry to, versus mine. I've got like mine was like, I think a 1925 or 23 hex is what I have, like an Ishmesh hex model. And I have to look up the year on it again. I can't remember specifically what it is, but that one, I mean, it's really, really nice. I mean, hasn't been counterbored. It doesn't have any pitting on it whatsoever. So when you go to buy a Mosin, the first thing you got to understand is, you know, you got to read the reviews on people, because I know Classic Firearms is big on. They're one of the big distributors of Mosins that you find online, and you know they'll advertise them as good, very good. You pay for handpick and this and that. I don't even know if I'd bother after reading the reviews where people say, "Yeah, I paid $25 for handpick and I got the worst one in the lot." You got to kind of check the dates of the reviews, because I think as they sit and people pick out more and more of them, eventually the handpick is down to the last two, and then somebody pays for handpick and they get the last one. Handpick means you're getting one that's the best of the batch. It's the best one in the crate. I think your best chances of getting a good gun like that is to buy it as soon as somebody like Classic advertises it. Hurry up and quickly buy it so you get that hand choice where they choose the best one. Me, I wouldn't spend the money on it because I've seen enough people complain about spending more for handpick and getting garbage.
I have experience with that.
Okay, what's up? What happened?
I bought long guns and handguns, Milsurp, from Classic over the years at different times.
Yeah.
And sometimes I paid for handpick, and sometimes I haven't. And I can verify that sometimes you get the hand pick and you're going, really, this is hand pick? And then sometimes you don't pay the extra money and you get in this beautiful gun and you're going, what the heck? On one purchase I made, I got a batch of guns in and they didn't include slings. And when I bought the guns again, not only did they include slings, they threw extras in. And I didn't do hand pick that time. And I'm like, what the heck? So I would say take your chances. It's not an absolute total loss if you do it. I can't say that I'll never do it again, but you know, if it's pay 25 extra bucks for hand pick, or I can get a bayonet with that thing, I'm getting a bayonet. You know, I will say this though, with some of that stuff, Classic sells out quick. Back in the day, before they got on YouTube, I guess nobody knew who the heck they were, because I could buy stuff off their site anytime I want. If they had something to go, we just got a new batch of these, 6 months later, they'd still have that batch. As soon as they started making YouTube videos, it's like suddenly people are like, hey, have you heard of this new company called Classic Firearms? Like, oh my goodness, newbie. And now when they sell stuff, they literally sell out. You can't, I mean, it'll start, you know, sale starts tomorrow at noon. You're there at 11:59 with everything in your cart ready to click, check out. And as soon as that clock rolls around noon, you can suddenly check out and you refresh the page, you click, 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 sold out, sold out. It's like, wait a minute, I was right on top of this. And
so
Boost, I hate when he does that.
Yeah, everybody hates getting foosed. Makarovs are going to be the next one. That's going to be a $350 gun before you know it. They'll go from being $279 to $400 in a year or two once those supplies dry up, and then all the Milser pistols will start to go up in price. The Star BMs are going to Star BM 5 years from now. Star BM is going to be probably a $350 gun, $400 gun.
My advice for somebody who's doing the Classic Firearms sale and they've got everything ready to go and they're not doing a hand pick or anything else like that, and apparently there's another, you know, 10,000 other people on the other side of the internet that can click a mouse faster than you. Go back into their main page, go back into that rifle or handgun that you want, and see if it's available with the extra charge of the hand pick, hand select, and that's still in stock. If without hand select, it's not in stock, but with then go back and put it in your cart for an extra 20, 25 bucks or whatever it is, and then you can still buy it. So just be ready for that in case it happens, because they sell fast now. It's like I really wish they had never gotten on YouTube.
Yeah, if you get yourself a Mosin, you're not going to lose money on it. I'll just say that right now. If you spend $350 on one a couple years from now, you can sell for $350 now and break even on it. Sans maybe sales tax and an FFL fee. So, I mean, that's one of the guns where it's okay if you get one. It's going to have value to it unless the thing is totally beat up, broken stock, pitted, you know, bores shot to heck. You know, that's about the only time you might have a little bit of trouble moving it if you're going to sell it.
Yeah, Classic's got them now for under 200.
Oh, but what's the condition? Are they good, very good? Is that what you're saying?
Now.
What's that?
They're up to 230 now. They have all kinds of different ones that they have different prices on. Base price, they're out of the ones that started under 200, but they still got some that are at 230. You get your choice. You can pick what you want to. They have grade 3 through grade 4 right now that are available.
Yeah, if you don't mind doing a little bit of cleanup on them, you know, taking the Cosmoline off of them, maybe possibly. Well, I don't know if I'd want to say reblue it. I guess it depends on how bad the rust is. Here, what is it? Mad Sexy's telling me that basic Mosins are selling for $600 out in California right now. If you want to get one that's ready for you to buy off the shelves.
Well, remember, I wanted to get that Finish M28, and before I could stop talking about how much I liked it, you'd already found it on Gunbroker for $600. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's as easy as looking. You just got to be willing to pay the money. So,
and speaking of stolen Makarovs, hey, look who got on my facial. Look who got my facial hair. Look at this. This is my nephew Foos. Look at this guy, man. What's going on? You're getting burly there, dude. Holy crap.
Yeah,
I didn't know you could grow facial hair.
I'm gonna grow it back. So.
Here, let's boost up your volume a little bit so people can hear you there, Foos.
Oh yeah. I'm in.
What's that, bud? It's breaking up, brother.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we should be good. Go ahead.
All right, yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to grow it back.
Hey, so Foos, what are some of the best kind of gun show finds that you've had before on used firearms that you picked up?
Well, the 200 Makarov is always good, and then
what's going on? What's going on here? Well, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Another good one that I had was the Enfield I picked up off G-Webs.
Oh, okay.
I mean, talking to friends or other people you know in the gun world, especially like I know I'm kind of unique whenever it comes to the shooting sports world.
Mm-hmm.
But if you know someone that's dabbled in with a gun or dabbled in another division, and you're thinking about it, and you know that hey, that person picked up a gun, and I haven't seen him shoot it for a while. Talk to them about it. They may be like, yeah, you know, I kind of wanted to go a different way, and maybe part with it for something cheaper than if they would, you know, go out and hunt for someone to buy it. I know in the shooting sports, like for me, I'd be like, oh, you know, I have a couple SPO1s that I'm not shooting anymore. I haven't been there for a year. I'm thinking about, you know, dropping them, you know, put them on Gunbroker and have a, you know, $700 reserve on a gun that I paid $2,200 to $200 like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And you go out and you buy it now. Yeah, it's gonna be a high mileage, but it's, you know, they're guns. They're good, you know.
Enfields, man. Enfields are another one that's God. I had an Ishapur that was a 308 conversion. I wish I would have kept it. I paid $100 for it, I think, at a pawn shop back in the mid '90s. It was one of the first rifles that I bought. I'm kicking myself for not holding on to it.
Yeah, because I picked up an Ishapur at Tulsa, $385, something like that.
Okay. So Enfield,
yeah, a couple of years ago,
investments. Mosin's are solid investments right now.
Well,
the Ishapur is on my bucket list, and a couple of years ago, I was at the gun show, and a guy had it on display. It says $250 price tag, and he says, "You're looking at it. You kind of like it?" I go, "Yeah, but I don't want to pay that much." He goes, $225. It's yours. Should have bought it.
Yeah. So I would not look at Mosin's as investments right now. I think they're at their tops, or at their tops for the next 5 to 8 years. If you're going to look at investment guns, go pistols.
Yeah,
Go
Scott
surplus
69 was
pistols right
saying, Scott said that Makarovs are over $400 already. So, I mean, you could probably still get them for $279 if you look around. But, you know, and again, condition of them, you might start to get to the bottom of the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, I see those Star BMs going up in price pretty soon, too. That's another one that I see going up eventually.
The P64s, stuff like that does shoot that 9x18 Mac. The CZ82 83s, those are going to go up soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Classic actually had some of those CZ82s for 300 right now. If anybody's looking for one of those,
that's great because I paid more than that for mine.
Yeah, if you go on to Classic and you go search for, or like what is CDNN or a J&G sales.
So basically right now, if it's CNR pistol, and you got money and you think that you may want to look into it in the future, grab it. Just grab it. Of course, you know, go to the very good. If you just want a shooter grade or, you know, something that, you know, like my CZ82, it's not awesome to look at. I can take and get it refinished and probably up its value to make it look better. But the long-term profitability in it won't be there because I refinished it.
Okay.
So, I mean, you always think about, you know, I think about now, you know, the all the Mausers or all the Mosins, like, oh, you know, why did Bubba get a hold of it? Well, with the pistols we have now, if you sit there and you refinish it and stuff like that, 10 years down the road, those are Bubba pistols because they've been refinished.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to think about that.
See, Sam of Anarchy 92 says, I want an original M1 Garand 30-6 and 1911 to 45 ACP. Travis, you get my email. John Bryan, I'll check that real quick. Calver says, I want a Mosin rifle. Don't care if it looks like it was run over by T-72 as long as it shoots.
So
yeah,
Mosins, you can still buy type 53s for fairly cheap. It's a Chinese one. They shoot just as well. If you just want an example of it, look there first. It'll be the shorter carbine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So yeah, look at those.
M44s are really starting to break the bank now too. If you find those used, man, I'm still kicking myself for not picking up one of those. I'd love to have one. I got a buddy that's got one. He got it for $225, I think is what he paid for it a couple of years ago.
That's about how much I got mine for, my M44, and then I got my Type 53 for $25.
Now, just think about this. Everybody's going to be really kicking themselves in the pants in 10 years when they can't afford to buy a High Point, because High Point finally hits the big time.
Yeah, once they come out with that threaded suppressor model, everybody's going to want the original C9 that won't be in production anymore, and they're going to start to.
Absolutely. Once everything goes this double stack, it's going to be like, oh, I gotta have one of these single stacks.
Yep, get your High Points now. I'm telling you, that's our prediction of the collectible gun of the future. The original C9 or that 380 with the two-tone finish, or even those god-awful hydro-dipped ones that they have.
Well,
I mean, I'm not laughing at them. I think they're cool as hell, but it's just like, you know.
Well. So you think about it. Okay, something else that's going to end up going up. These Smith & Wesson's police trade-ins that, what is it, the 5?
Yeah, they're talking about that in the chat right. The 59 series, 45 series, or 459 series. Yeah.
Those are going to go up.
Yeah.
Your Berettas, any of your police trade-ins,
M92s. Yep. So Night Strike invested in a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to get into that the Beretta world, but I just don't like Berettas.
Yeah, unless you want to buy, like from an investment standpoint, maybe make a couple $100 from it at some point. So, hey guys, real quick, John Brown is joining us. John, you want to join in on the conversation? How do you feel about buying used? You got any good deals on used guns lately? Putting you on the spot, John. You with us, buddy?
I got this thing used. Hey.
Oh yeah.
Does anybody want a Glock? 34?
Here,
There you go.
Let me mute you on the one. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good, buddy. You're good to go. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys are going to cry.
Oh, no.
I bought my first number 4 Mark 1
Enfield?
in 1970. Yep. Late 1970s for $85.
How much?
$85.
Uncle John, tell us about the good old days when you could get a Mosin for $25 at the Napa. Literally.
No.
Yeah.
No. Like that was expensive for back then. For one of those, yeah. I bet you back. That's expensive back then.
You couldn't buy a Mosin for 25, but you could get one for 99, and I did.
Now, how long ago was that? How long ago did you have the $99 Mosin? Like in the 80s, the 1980s, or what?
Yeah, it was the late 80s, early 90s.
No, so
just after they first started coming in bulk.
So I got a Mosin, and I've only got into guns in 2011. I think I got my Mosin for $99 in. No, it was like maybe $1.50. Oh. I bet that was in 04-ish.
Okay.
Now, so something else that, surplus ammo. I know none of that stuff's coming in, but I picked up a lot of the 7.6 and the 54R.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on a pretty penny.
Oh, the spam cans, unopened original Russian surplus ammo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to be what, 75? Was it $75 for a tin of 400? Is that what they were, or 1,000 for 75? Is that about as low as they were before they went up?
So it was 440 rounds. A spam can was $79, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got my first AK-74, I was getting a spam can of 1,080 rounds of 7.6. I found a place where I was getting a spam can for about $85.
Oh, jeez. Now, here's the thing about the Mosins. Everybody should have one because you can readily get the ammo Walmart carries tula.
Yes.
it's not a hard ammo to find, so everybody should at least have a Mosin in the collection just because they're fun to shoot and they're cheap and they're not going to lose their value.
Right.
Do you still have yours, John?
My Mosins?
Yes, sir.
No. I got into some financial problem a while back, and had to sell both of them. I got I got the $99 long Mosin in I guess it was the late 80s, early 90s. And then about the mid 90s, I picked up a Polish M44
Ooh.
that I got for $150, and that was expensive then.
Yeah.
But it looked like it was brand new.
Yeah. Well, the Polish ones now,
It was beautiful.
the Polish ones now, you're looking at $600.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tokarevs are good. If you get like a Chilean Swedish Mauser, stuff like that, some of the old like the 93 patterns, get it. The cock on closed, get those. I mean, their actions are strong enough.
Man,
You don't have to wait to the you don't have to wait to the 96. Get a 93 action. Get stuff like that. They're still relatively cheap.
And if anybody's looking for a Tokarev, I actually got this one for $220.
So very good, excellent surplus condition. And what Red Army Standard makes 7.62 by 25 ammo, right?
Yep.
And you can buy. You won't necessarily get that at Walmart, but you can get it at Cabela's and Bass Pro Shops and wherever you go get your stuff at.
The only bad thing about those is they had to put a safety on the left-hand side because of the import laws.
Yeah.
Where's that tuck?
The Tokarev, it's a classic.
Okay.
Classic Firearms. Was it Scott P79? Was it you that said that beware of that safety because his will fire even with the safety on? It's kind of jerry rigged on there basically to get it imported, right?
Yeah, people remove them all the time. It's not hard to do.
So Scott says
but then you have a hole in your frame.
Yeah.
Well, you can get somebody to weld the hole closed and you're good.
Yeah, it's just import laws. Or if you look at like some of them, I know they used to replace the trigger and put a dingle on the trigger like a Glock does. So
yeah.
I think that's what Scott was talking about. Okay, it wasn't the safety; it was they put trigger safeties on those things.
Mm-hmm. They used to have a trigger safety, kind of like.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, okay.
Well, one country did that factory. I can't remember which country that was.
I'm not sure if that's. I'd have to look it up and see which ones they're actually carrying. But now you can also get those in 9mm too, right? Those pop up from time to time. The Tokarevs, you can get them in a 9.
Yeah,
yes, but their magazines are hard as crap to find.
Yeah, most of the time when you find the 9, it's going to be the Norinco version from China.
Yeah, Navy Arms imported a lot of those in 9mm years ago.
Yeah, just looking over at J&G sales right now, they've got C&R used for $349 on a Mosin. Very good condition. Star BMs for $179. CZ82s for $199. Which isn't too bad. So yeah, I mean, looking at some of these. So here's the deal: when you go to get the Mosin, I almost would recommend if you're going to get one, go to a gun store. Or, I would look at it in person before you buy it, before you go through somebody say classic. But what do you got there, Foos?
Tokarev in 9mm.
Okay.
From CZ. This is the one of the Czech ones.
Oh, okay. What do those sell for?
I got this one for $200. The thing is, the magazines are almost unobtainable.
How many magazines do you have for it? Just
I have one.
Okay.
And it was.
Does it have the safety?
Right there, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I couldn't see it in the picture.
This safety was put on by factory. It's not a aftermarket.
That's why it's done the right way.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a fan of safeties, but to have it on a gun like that, obviously they integrated it into the slide instead of, jerry rigging it into the frame basically and cutting a hole into it.
Right. I mean, this one's awkward as hell to shoot. I think most Makarovs are. I mean, the Tokarevs are.
I shot Sandy or Squibs, and I thought it was pretty comfortable. Really, I was surprised with how smooth it was. But yeah, I mean, what you normally, yeah.
It is. It's just a janky feeling in your hand. It shoots smooth.
Kind of like holding a hammer in your hand, you know, and pulling the trigger because they're so upright.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. But again, going back to the Mosins, you know, check the barrels for pitting. Make sure that they've got some strong rifling in the barrel. Mine's not counterboard. You can tell if it's counterboard. If I'm not mistaken, you won't have any rifling in about the first inch. Is that right? And then it's been rebored, basically. Is that what the counterboring is on Mosin rifles, if I'm not mistaken?
So the throat and the end of the muzzle are the ones that get eroded the quickest. So what they do is they just drill back into it until it gets really good rifling again.
Let's see. Scott P79 says the good thing is that Zastava is going to be importing all day or guns starting late this summer. So I'd assume they'll be bringing in magazines. Man, that'd be nice.
For the 9mm?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I thought they're just going to be importing or making domestically, weren't they? Isn't Zastava going to open up a U.S. factory or something to do AKs?
They're opening up a U.S. office here so that they can do their own importing.
A U.S. office so they can import their own. Okay.
So something else they'll go up in price. These pre-Bs, 75 CZ75 pre-Bs. I got this one for $250-ish.
Oh wow!
So this one came out of Israel.
Ooh.
Made in Czech Republic. So.
Yeah, so it isn't necessarily just the milsurps either. Well, it kind of is a milsurp, but not. I mean, it's like the traditional milsurps that you think of, you know.
Right. They went from Czechoslovakia to Israel and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the gun that Israel based at Jericho on.
Yes. Other ones that. Sorry, CZ fan, but Model 27s, Model 50s, stuff like that.
Oh, 52s. I had a 52, but I couldn't shoot it at the indoor range because of the ammo, so I ended up selling it shortly after when I bought it. I wish I would have kept it.
Why not? Why couldn't you sell it?
The steel ammo, they said it would ruin the catch at the back of the range.
Oh, no. You're talking about 52.
CZ52, yeah.
I'm talking about a 50.
No, I was saying the 52s are going up in price now, too. Those were about a $300 gun. Now they're probably in the $400 range on average.
I'm talking about this. This is a 32 auto.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then, of course, that's a 50. And then you always go back. You know, this is a mid-war production Model 27.
Yeah, I'm looking at those. The 83s are $379 on Classic for the 380. The CZ82s are $300. Yeah, the CZs do bring a premium in price compared to some of the other, just even like the Zastava manufactured pistols and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to get them both the CZ82, but I ain't got the money right now. Anytime I want, anybody has in the stock, I never have the money for it.
Well, that's when you take and grab the $350, stick it somewhere, so it's always, you know, get the cash out of your bank account, stick it in a tin somewhere, and go after it then.
Well, the money that would have been used by the CZ82 bought a different CZ. So.
Which CZ?
E10C suppressor ready.
Oh. Yeah, I'm seeing the CZ70s are $229. One thing you want to watch for on the Mosins, if you can try real quick on the Mosins, if you're going to buy one used, maybe take an empty shell with you and make sure it's going to cycle. The one that I'm trying to sell for my buddy, it did need a new extractor that we put in it because those can wear out, or an ejector, one of the two. No, it's an ejector, not an extractor. Ejector. So that's something you want to watch for when you get them. The stocks, you know, they might be beat up. Definitely, if you can't hold it in person, look for rust. Look for a lot of touch-up marker, bluing and stuff on it too if you're going to pick one of those up. It's something you want to be careful for. Let's move on to AKs now, talking about buying used. You know, again, you want to do research on the brands. Somebody might be offering a really good deal on an IO or, you know, maybe a RAS 47. And I'm not ripping on the RAS. I understand that they do have their issues, but Yeah, I did have one, and I kept it for a short period of time, not knowing that they, had potential trending issues and stuff like that. When it comes to buying a used AK-47, do you need to worry that much if you're going to be going for, say, something that's got a good lineage to it? What do you guys think about buying used AKs? Any opinions on used AK-47s at all, guys? Like Wassers? Are there any Wassers you want to watch out for?
Biggest thing is look at the rivets.
The rivet, yeah, that's going to be a big one. The rivets, I mean, if it's got, forged trunnion and stuff like that, you shouldn't have to worry a whole heck of a lot. If you're buying like something that's got a good lineage to it, like a Wasser and whatnot. I know Midnight Range has got, what's he got? Remind me here, guys. We've got the AMD 63 or 65. He's got a 60, but he's got one of the originals that had the shorter barrel with the longer muzzle brake on it.
Mm-hmm.
And those had, I think, a different grade of steel than my AMD 63 that I have. Yeah, I've got the 63. That's got kind of the pencil thin barrel. It's just like a 4140 steel. So it doesn't,
that's because it's original barrel versus U.S. made barrel.
Yeah, so he got one of the early import models, and mine's one of the AMDs that came in later on. I mean, I got the James River Armory edition. It's got a different handguard on it and pistol grip and stock and stuff. But yeah, so what do you need to watch out for if you're going to be buying a used AK from somebody? Can they just be, obviously check the barrel. We're going to say that again. Check for, when you look at the internals, what do you need to watch for in the bolt carrier group or anything along those lines? Yeah.
So depending on like if it's a Norenko or something like that, if you could tell that the gun's been in the country for a while, check for rust on the bolt and in the bolt carrier, stuff like that, because back in the day, people, like you have said, you could pick up 1,000 rounds for like $50 and it was surplus stuff. And some people took care of the gun, some didn't. So of course, look through the barrels. Of course, good sharp rifling, rivets.
Make sure there's no screws that are stripped out in it, because you go to change out the stock.
Yeah.
And the screw is as tight as you tighten the screw a little bit, boop, it just kind of whizzes through, and it's like,
Yeah, but if you're going to replace the stock, who cares, because it drills that screw through the stock anyway.
Good point. That's a good point. You don't have to worry about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the whole canted sight thing. Yeah, put it down on the receiver and make sure the front sight isn't totally jacked. But people are like, oh, it shoots fine for me. Yeah, but if it's pushed all the way over to one side and it's shooting fine, and they say it's shooting fine, they may be getting rivet because they can't sight the thing.
You're talking about the front side post, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Look and make sure it's that. So you put it on the base of the receiver, so on a flat table, so it's square-ish, and just look down. If you could really see that front sight canted to one side or the other, probably skip it, because you don't know if you could get the thing sighted. And if it's just angled ever so slightly, you're most likely to be.
Is it visible? Is it, because I've never really checked, because I've only got one AK in my collection, just my AMD. So
yeah, it can be visible.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you set it down right, absolutely.
Yeah. The juice is saying that the Polish AK-47s are quality. Yeah, and you're gonna pay a pretty penny for some of those. Sometimes I go over to Atlantic Firearms and just see what they sell, because they've got some decent source models, and you're gonna start to get into the $700, $800, $900 range if you're gonna get one.
Well, whenever I built my Polish, my kit was $500, and then so I have everything into it. I probably have $600 into it.
This isn't the one that Nice Strike has, is it?
No, that receiver cost me more.
Oh, okay.
That was a Hungarian. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one I'm talking about, I have it spray painted, FDE. Actually,
okay. Now, I got a feeling the AMDs are going to go up in price too, because I don't think you can really, I mean, you can still source them like on Gunbroker and stuff like that, but I mean, like, your more traditional outlets are basically sold out.
Parts kit guns are going. They're almost, they're headed out. Now this is the first AK I built.
Dude, you're just taking us on a tour of your house, man. We should do an episode of Cribs or something where you take us around and show off all the guns. All right, what do we got there?
This is how the original wood came. I did nothing to this wood.
Okay.
So I just have it spray painted. And as you see.
Oh, yeah, it's pushed all the way to the left.
There it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you really look down the barrel, you can see it is.
Now, when we're talking Canada, are we talking the sides that are shifted this way or they're twisted like this? I mean, we're talking Canada, we're talking they're like that. They're bent. They're not lined up 100%.
So here, I'm going to send you down.
Okay. It looks fine. I mean, from what we can see.
If you really look at it.
Oh, is it off to the right?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. Okay, you can see it. Yeah, no, I get it now. You got to kind of train your eyes to look for it, you know?
Yeah.
That's definitely the way to hold it, too.
Yes, that is how you hold it. You look down, trunnion, down the middle of the dust cover.
Mm.
Okay. Sorry, low battery.
No, it's all good. Yeah.
Down the dust cover, down through the sights, over the front gas, the gas. So what you do is if you could take the handguard off, do it, lay it down on the receiver right here, and then you'll be able to see if it is canted or not. This one is canted. And you can see it is. Whoa. It's all the way over to the side. It's sighted in, but it's all the way over to the side.
Okay. And then is it what kind of grouping can you get with that?
I never really shot it. I could hit it 100 yards with this all damn day. So yeah, I have that much left.
It's a good thing you didn't have to try and do any more windage on there. You'd had to go and then replace the rear plate with an RPK sight.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. But yeah, I need to clean this thing a little bit.
What's a gunsmith going to charge you to fix a canted sight?
Probably not much, because all you really got to do.
I mean, they can make sure it's done properly. A good gunsmith knows what they're doing. They're going to get it aligned, right?
Yeah, what they'll do is they'll push these two pins out.
Oh.
Straighten this a little bit, and then drill and put bigger pins through it. That's all it is. Is the front sight on these?
Think about an hour labor on something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, so you can be looking at about $100, $150 or something like that.
Now, if you have the sight on the front gas on the post, I mean the front on the gas port, it's the same thing, but just with these two. And your flash hole or your hole inside your gas port is bigger than the hole inside your barrel, so you can move that around a little bit and be fine.
Yeah, a little bit of leeway there.
Yeah.
By the way, I love your wallpaper, dude. That is awesome. Yeah, you just wake up and think targets when you wake up. Is that how you practice? Is that you practice like little laser sight and stuff before you go to bed? Is it?
No, I used to practice here for my dry firing and UTSA.
Yeah.
But then my room's only about 10 feet long, so I started going downstairs where I have more room to run around.
Oh, sure. Surprised you don't have a range in your basement by now.
I don't have a basement. I live in Arkansas.
I don't know. I just assume everybody has a basement.
No, I live in Arkansas. Under me is like thousands of feet of
bedrock.
Granite, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. You know what, guys, I think we're probably going to have to turn this into a part 2 next week, because we didn't really get into ARs or revolvers or even 1911s and stuff. So we are going to go ahead and call it so that we can get everybody ready to head off to. Who's got shows tonight? Sarge has a show tonight. Is that right?
Anybody want ammo?
There you go. Ammo? Yes.
I think Obnoxious has the show tonight, if I remember right.
No,
yeah, I saw me send a link out.
Scheduled for Saturday, which means Sarge would have it tonight.
As I come down the steps.
See, I thought that was your basement. No, I see that's your upstairs. You're downstairs. Hey, real quick, Gizzard Gary's been with us for a little while. Gary, you want to introduce yourself real quick? And then I got a question for you. Have you ever bought used guns?
Gizzard Gary, host of Foul Territory on Friday nights, and early bird chat on Sunday mornings. And yes, I do have some used guns.
All right. What's the best deal you've got on a used gun so far?
Probably my Taurus PT 1911, which I don't think had even been shot.
Oh
and
my!
that normally retails for $5.99. I picked up for $4.18.
Oh wow!
Other than that, I have a high standard that I picked up that's from 1959. It's actually older than me. That I paid $200 for. Shoots like a dream. Doesn't look like much, but shoots like a dream. And trying to think what else I have that's used. Seems like to me there's one more. And I thought of it a second ago, but I'll be darned if I can think of it now. Oh, my Star BM, of course.
Oh, yeah. How's that been for you? Has that been solid?
Yes.
Have you had to replace anything on it at all? You just cleaned it and just take it out and shoot it?
Just clean it and shoot it. I love it.
That's another one I'd like to pick up too. So
I recommend.
Are you talking about Star
I got mine
BM?
for $230.
Yeah, Star BMs.
I got 2 of them.
You ever had any problems with them yet at all, or not?
No. All I did was remove the safety for the magazine safety. First round out of my first one hit 100-yard 2/3 size silhouette.
Oh, wow.
So
not bad.
Talking about decent guns that are for sale.
Yeah.
As soon as I switch here. No. For sale.
Give us some prices.
This is a SPO1 Shadow from Cajun. This one will come with a holster and 3 mags. I'll do that one for $800. This one I'll let it go for $700. That'll come with 2 mags.
Okay.
And then that one, Gen 4 Glock 34 with Venom.
Oh, Vortex, yeah.
Vortex sight, and all the MOS plates and a holster. I'll do that for $750.
You said that's a 34?
Yes.
Is that? I can't remember. Is that 10 millimeter?
No.
No, it's 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think Boots would be loading 9mm if he shot 10mm?
I mean, if you bought it on a whim just for something different. Well, because it looks like the one that I just tested, but mine was a G40, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have all the back straps for it. This will come with 4 mags or 3 mags. These will hold 23.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. So the deal I shot you at $750, that was about how much this is. I forgot the springs and these base pads are about $60 a piece.
Yeah, they're expensive, man. Quality mag extensions are not cheap at all. Yeah.
So
all right.
These will hold 23.
Okay, so guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up so we can let people head off to their next shows. We'll make a part 2 out of this. Next week, we'll go ahead and do that and talk about the models and stuff we didn't get a chance to talk about. In the meantime, I'm going to research around, see if I can find you guys some good gun deals on some good used guns, see what's out there, what's new, what's good to check out. So, Guitar Man P says bald face Travis is throwing me off. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, right on, man. And Foos, if people want to reach you, how can they do that?
Facebook, Sport Shooters Ammunition, or Craig Oakenfoos on Facebook. That's me. Yeah, or gun channels, or get a hold of Travis there, and he'll know how to get a hold of me.
Yeah, I can get you in contact if you guys are interested. Just go ahead and email me at thecalibercorner@gmail.com, or I've got contact info on my YouTube page where you guys can go and click on the link and you guys can email me. So not a problem.
What if we don't want to get a hold of Foos? We're tired of hearing him and we don't like to look at him. Is there any way we can get away from Foos?
There you
go. No, because as the expression goes, the Foos is loose. So
yeah. I'm not talking about me, pal. I'm asking for a friend.
I understand. No, I get it. Hey,
remember when you have Foos on your show is not to invite A and A on the show at the same time.
Hey, now. I don't always have to talk about reloading.
No, you two. No. Let's put this in perspective now. It was on Snob Show on a Saturday night that the two of you both got on the panel, and it turned into a 2-hour reloading discussion. The next night, you both came on my show. I expressly forbid you guys talking reloading, so you and him go off on a history chat for 2 hours. So if you guys want to have a show where you don't have to do anything, just invite Boots and A&A, and they'll just run the whole thing for you.
There you go. All right, guys, we're going to let everybody go ahead and say a few parting words before we go, and then we'll see who is with us today. And real quick here, Squiblift, do you want to say anything before we go, bro?
Yeah, check out the Squiblift channel, check out the Squibload channel, and check out all the shows all week long. They're on gun channels, YouTube, Gunstreamer, guntube.org. And thanks for the invite.
Cool, man. Cool. Appreciate you being here. You've been here since the beginning, and I'm glad you're still sticking it out with us, man. So thank you. Let's see. Travis, you rock. Keep up what you're doing. You're my favorite YouTuber so far, man. Derek, everybody on this panel is a freaking awesome. Has got awesome channels. You definitely need to check it out. Okay, and moving on. Sandhills. Anything you want to say before we go, buddy?
You're my favorite YouTuber too, and I'm even a YouTuber. So,
wow, man, jeez, come here, we gotta hug it out. Come here, hug it out, hug it out, bro.
Yeah, bring it in.
That's right. Yep, I'm just jealous because you got a beard now. What's that?
Yeah, I know you. I'll rub it up against your baby face anytime.
Whoa. Okay.
So anyway, thanks for the invite. I know that I don't always make it anymore on the new day and time, but I had the day off, so I was able to join in today. So that was cool. Just go check out Sandhill Shooter on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Patreon. And Patreon patrons are about to get a few extra perks that everybody else doesn't get. So go see what that's all about. But thanks for letting me be here.
No problem, man. No problem. All right, Derek River says Babyface Travis. No, Babyface is that guy that's over on the Hank Strange podcast. That's the original Babyface. So yeah,
Babyface P.
Yeah. Well, he's got more facial hair than I do now too. I just gotta let this go back out. I think
a 3-year-old has more facial hair than you do.
I know. I've got this 5 o'clock shadow going on right now. I can light a match off of it, dude. It's so sweet.
I have aunts that have more facial hair than you.
So do I.
It's not a baby face though, because Travis can grow it. I'm pretty sure he can strike a match on his chin by 5 o'clock. So
easy. Sandpaper, man. Sandpaper. It's all right. It's all right. Oh man. All right. So let's see. Moving on. Rich. Anything you want to say, buddy? Rich White. Anything before we go?
Yeah, I was wrong. Squib does. I mean, not Squib. Yeah, Squib has a show tonight at 9 o'clock. I'll give him a heart attack right now. But yeah, Obnoxious is the one that has tonight. Earlier, he had his show scheduled for Saturday, which would have meant Sarge would have been on tonight. I just noticed I got an email from him saying he wants to do D-Day stuff tonight. Yeah. So I don't know what I'm going to talk about because I don't know anybody who was ever in D-Day. So, this is just the way it is. My grandfather tried, but he wasn't old enough. And I've told the story before. My great-grandfather found out that my grandfather had gone to the recruiting center. He went down there, dragged him out of the place by his ear, and then beat the crap out of him when they got home.
Oh, God.
My grandfather was like 14 at the time. He's trying to enlist, lying by his age. But my grandfather was a big guy even when he was 14. He was like 6 foot tall.
That happened more than what you think. A lot of 14, 15, 16-year-old guys went in the military. Yeah. It was easy to lie about your age back then.
Yeah, it was. But my great grandfather was having none of it. Like, you out of your goddamn mind.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. Anyway, as far as what's coming up, over on Unloaded Media channel, we will have This Week Unloaded on Sunday at 8 Eastern. So be sure to check that out, and we'll catch y'all then.
Sounds good. Good stuff. All right, John Brown Productions. Anything you want to say before we go, brother?
Yeah. Excuse me. My father did the same thing. He got into some little legal trouble, and he had to forge his birth certificate, and the Army thought he was older by a year than he actually was. but he spent 22 years, almost 22 years, and retired in 1973. So,
Wow.
if you guys wouldn't mind, go check out my couple of videos I got. And if you want to subscribe, go ahead. And thank you, Travis, for letting me on.
No problem, man. Like I said,
enjoyed
now I've got your email address. I'll get you on the regular list because I email about 20 or 25 people now just to see who can show up. So you'll be getting it. You can make it great if you can't. You know, that's cool, man.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry, Kinky Sphincter says, what the hell is that, Travis? Kinky, I have shaved. I have shaved at the request of my mother and grandmother. We're doing family photos this summer, and I just, just took it off. We'll be back in August. We'll be growing it back out again in August. So in the meantime, I'm just enjoying the free air conditioning. That's all I got to say. I love the free air conditioning, man. No way, it's Travis P11. Yes, Kinky, that's me. Haven't you been watching the show? I do this every summer. We're going on 2 years of the Caliber Corner now, and I did this last year too. So, guys, I'm sorry that the beard had to be, the lack thereof had to be the distraction for this episode. But
last year you were only a peon YouTube channel.
Oh.
Now you're like, God of gods.
Yeah, next on the list will be demonetized, I'm sure.
So the real question,
dude,
when
no.
That's when you made it.
That's when I know that's when I'm made right there. As soon as YouTube says, we're going to advertise on your channel, we're not going to give you a dime for it. I'm like, yeah. All right. T-shirts, anyone?
Does the beard make the man, or does the man make the beard?
The beard makes the man, because with the beard, like, people would call me sir more often, and they would open the door for me, and they were like kinder to me. I don't know if it's because I got some Hemingway going on here or something. And I'm telling you, man, it's
now they just call you ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Probably,
man.
Ma'am.
I look like my grandma, so yeah. All right, man. Okay, so moving on down the line. Giz or Gary, anything you want to say before we go, brother?
Well, for one thing, I'd hate to see you demonetized, because what would you do without that $5 a month you're making?
I could care less. I mean, I'll make a video saying, "Oh, I've been demonetized," but I'm not going to tell people to support me on Patreon. I really don't care. I've been monetized for a little over a year, and I mean, I've only been making gun videos for 4 years, but I put my allowance into what I do on the channel, and honestly, with SS Pawn, with Stan hooking me up with his firearms, I mean, I'm basically paying for his ammo and the range and all the stuff that goes along with it, the support stuff for running a gun channel. I mean, tech-wise, I've been using the same camera for a while and the same computer equipment and stuff like that. It'd be nice to expand, but I'm not gonna. A lot of the bigger channels, it kind of bothers me. I get it; they're demonetized, and they talk about how people say, "Well, just go to Gunstreamer, just go to UGEtube," and they say, "Well, you don't get the reach that you get on YouTube." Well, how long are you going to be on YouTube for and be able to make that reach before your channel gets shut down?
So,
and so,
quick question for you.
Yeah, man, what's up?
I just wondered. If I heard correctly, your pictures are in August. I was wondering, why do you have to shave 2 months before your pictures?
I usually do at the end of the school year. I kind of promise the family that I'll take it off, because my grandma's birthday is on the 4th of July. And then we kind of get together and have family reunions and get-togethers and stuff like that. So the tradition is usually at the end of the school year, I just take off the beard. And I wait for it to warm up a little bit too, because I don't really need it so much anymore.
I just giving you grief. I'll probably do the same thing. So
it's all good. It's all good.
Here in about a month myself. So.
Yeah, once the closer we get back to going back to school and get back into August stuff, then I'll start growing it back out again. So I liked it. I didn't like the fact that I couldn't go outside and turn on the garden hose without like sweating and dripping on everything. But other than that, so
like my daughter says, it's just hair.
But it's so much more. It's so much more. I let it. It was getting pretty crazy too. I was starting to look like Night Strike, man. I was starting to get that old Rasputin thing going on,
Yeah. Just the touch of gray, everything. It really fits you really well.
No, then it gets more and more gray every year too. So I mean,
it'll get worse. But anyway, thanks for having me.
All right, man. No problem. And last but not least, Foos. Foos, anything you want to say before we go, buddy?
No.
Good to go. All right. So we'll continue this discussion next week. We'll do a part 2 on the used gun buyer's guide. I mean, we just kind of barely scratched the surface. We didn't get to talk about shotguns. We didn't really talk about things like Garands or old surplus Colts. I mean, there's a lot, 1911s. There's a whole other world we need to talk about. So we'll definitely continue this next week, guys. So that's it. This has been Caliber Corner episode number 96. I want to thank everybody for joining in over on the gun channel side. I did see that we had Gung Ho 1345 with us, and John Brown Productions was over there too, and he was here. And then joining us on the YouTube side, Guitar Man Pete Zippy 9898, Kinky Sphincter, Scott P79. Let's see, Yoder Texas, Derek Rivers 24, The Juice. Let's see, Rob D New York Outcast, EDC Dragon 45, Show Juice. Let's see who else was with us. Calaverse 32 Special, Sam of Anarchy 92. That might be about everybody. I don't know. Jumpy Killer was with us also. Ferris with Guns was with us. Let's see. We had the Catnip Kitty. Where's that person at? I can't find her. Mad Sexy was with us this night, of course. And let's see. I think that's probably about it. Russ Carr was out there. Russ, thanks for watching, buddy. Blue Steel 44. Guns Are for Girls joined us also. All right. Fine 81393 was with us. And that's Adam Jimenez was out there too. All right. Good to see you out there, Adam. Thanks for joining in. And that's probably about it. If I missed anybody, I apologize. Kingpin was out there and Kingpin was here, as well as SS Pond. Midnight Range TM was with us, one of the first people to sign in. And I think that's about it. So let's see. Clint Torres was out there also. Mike Sykes was with us. Flying Ninja Monkeys joined in. Snob's Wife 76. Mac Loves Life. All right. Welcome to the channel. You said that you're a new sub. And that is it. That is it. All right, guys. So thanks for joining us for Caliber Corner episode number 96. We will continue the discussion on buying used guns next week. Foos says, hi, I'm here. Hello, Foos. And Dan the Man Garcia says, I'm back. Gun 11 Grandpa's in the house. Good to see you too. We'll continue next week, guys. Same time, same place. Hopefully we won't have any possible delays like we did today. I got that all taken care of. And that's it, guys. So thanks for joining us. I want you to have fun. I want you to be safe. And as you know, we will talk to you soon.
Bye, Alicia.
Some of us have a beard because our wife likes it.
God.
Give him the bird.
All right. Adios, Felicia. Adios.